Hi Nana. So in our previous video, we have learned uh, preparation of specific soluble salts. Now in this video, we learn the general methods of preparation of insoluble salts. Okay, right. So actually, there are two methods for the preparation of insoluble salts. One is the precipitation of insoluble salt, and another one is synthesis of insoluble salt. So these two are the methods for the preparation of insoluble salts. So precipitation. Already we have seen. Double decomposition reactions or double displacement reactions are of two types: double displacement or double decomposition reactions. Okay, they are of two types. What are they? Double displacement. Double displacement reactions are of two types. What are they? One type of reactions are called as precipitation reactions. Okay, another type of reactions are called as neutralization reactions. Neutralization reactions. So now, so here for the preparation of insoluble salt, we will use precipitation reaction. We don't use neutralization reaction. Okay, in neutralization reaction, generally we will get soluble salt only. Okay, so here as it is insoluble salt, we use precipitation reaction. Okay, particularly, so in the precipitation reactions, so in these reactions, precipitation of insoluble salts will get. Okay, so insoluble salts are obtained from soluble salts. In precipitation reaction, what happens? Two soluble salts, two soluble salt solutions. Okay, two soluble salts are mixed in the form of their aqueous solution. Salts solutions, soluble salt solutions. Okay, solutions are mixed, are mixed. So finally, what you will get due to the reaction between two soluble salts. Due to the reaction between two soluble salts, for example, soluble salt 1 plus soluble salt 2. These two, they are taken in their aqueous solution. They are taken in their aqueous solution. So aqueous solution of this salt and another aqueous solution of another salt. So when they are mixed with each other and stirred properly, so reaction takes place between these two. What type of reaction takes place? Double displacement reaction takes place between these two. Okay, as a result of this one, you will get a insoluble salt. You will get a insoluble salt. Okay, and another one is soluble salt, new salt. Soluble salt. So it is a third salt, new salt. So these two are different salts, and the soluble salt obtained is also different. Okay, and insoluble salt you will get. Insoluble salt is called as a precipitate. Okay, precipitate. And the reaction, as precipitate is formed in this reaction, hence this reaction is said to be precipitation reaction. See, precipitation reaction is it is one type of double displacement reaction. Okay, neutralization reaction is another type, but here we don't use neutralization reaction. In neutralization reaction, you will get soluble salt, but here you will get soluble salt as well as insoluble salt. So this is important. So here in this method, we are going to prepare insoluble salt. So the insoluble salt can be prepared by what? A precipitation reaction. See, generally we will get insoluble salts of carbonates or sulfides or chlorides or sulfides or sulfates. So we will take examples for this, for the formation of carbonate insoluble salt. So carbonate insoluble salt. So take example. So first of all, calcium chloride. Example, we'll take calcium chloride. It's a soluble salt. Calcium chloride soluble salt 1. So when it is mixed with sodium carbonate, so both are taken in their aqueous solutions. So first prepare this solution, okay, and even this solution also prepared separately. And now when these two aqueous solutions are mixed, what happens? Reaction takes place between these two. So in this process, what happens? So actually this is calcium plus 2. What does this contain? This contains calcium ions, Ca plus 2, and chloride ions, Cl minus. And this contains sodium ions, Na plus, and carbonate ions, minus 2, CO3 minus 2. So what happens? So the positive ions from this salt, okay, the positive salt from this salt and from this salt, so they will exchange the positive and negative ions, or else positive and negative radicals. So what happens? These sodium ions from this salt will combine with the chloride ions to form sodium chloride, okay, to form sodium chloride. And what is left over? So calcium from this salt and carbonate from this salt, so they combine to form insoluble salt known as precipitate. So in this way, so this is the salt, this is called as carbonate salt of calcium. So carbonate salts, mostly all carbonates are insoluble, except carbonates of sodium, potassium and ammonium. All carbonates are insoluble. So like this, insoluble salt can be prepared. So this is the general method. So one of the general method is precipitation. So here what is happening? Precipitate is formed. See, these two are soluble salts. When soluble salts are mixed, you will get a insoluble salt, another soluble salt. So sodium chloride, common salt, already we know about this one. So generally we use in our houses. So this is common salt. So it is a soluble. Hence, as it is soluble, I can write AQ. So if you write AQ, then it indicates that it is soluble. Okay. So like this, this is a carbonate salt. Example for a carbonate salt. Next, take another example for the preparation of carbonate salt, like lead nitrate. See, lead nitrate. All nitrates are soluble. All nitrate salts are soluble. Hence, this is a soluble salt. Okay. So aqueous solution. Take aqueous solution of lead nitrate and sodium carbonate. So this is also soluble. Already we learned. So what happens? So when these two are mixed, again what happens? The sodium will react with sodium will exchange. Sodium and lead will exchange their ions. Now sodium will combine with nitrate and lead will combine with carbonate to form insoluble lead carbonate. Okay, and sodium nitrate which is soluble. So in this way, so insoluble carbonates can be prepared by this method. Okay, how insoluble sulfides can be prepared? Example we will learn. We will learn one or two examples for preparation of sulfides. Insoluble sulfide salts, how they are prepared. Example, take a copper chloride. It is also a soluble salt. Aqueous solution of copper chloride. Sodium sulfite, Na2SO3 here. It is 3, not 4. So Na2SO3, sodium sulfite, it is also a soluble salt. See, already we learned that all salts of sodium, all salts of potassium and all salts of ammonium are soluble salts. So that means this is also a soluble salt, sodium sulfite. So these two are soluble salts in their aqueous solutions. So now they are mixed with each other. Now what happens? So this sodium and copper, they exchange their radicals or else ions, because this copper is combined with this chlorine, sodium is combined with sulfite. So now sulfite will be taken by copper and sodium will be taken by this chlorine will be taken by sodium. So it forms what? Copper sulfite, which is insoluble salt, and sodium chloride, it is a soluble salt. Okay. Another example for preparation of sulfite salt, lead nitrate. Take lead nitrate, nitrate or nitrate, anything we may take, because all nitrates and all nitrites of any metal, they are soluble in they are soluble salts. Okay, so lead nitrate, sodium sulfite. Okay, so if you made if this aqueous solution of these two, so these two aqueous solution, if they are if they are mixed, reaction takes place. So it forms lead sulfite, which is insoluble. Okay, and sodium nitrate, which is a soluble salt, are formed. So in this way, so sulfite salts, copper sulfite, lead sulfite, so sulfite salts can be prepared by this method. Okay, so what is happening here? So two soluble salts are mixed. When two soluble salts are mixed, what happens? So these salts, they exchange their radicals, or else they exchange their ions. So copper will take this sulfite and sodium will take this chloride. Before that, copper is with chlorine, but copper now it will give its chlorine to sodium, and it will take a sulfite from sodium to form a copper sulfite, like this. Okay, right. So what happens during double displacement reaction? Exchange of ions takes place. During double displacement reaction, exchange of ions takes place. Okay, so that one of the so that new salts are formed, and one of the new salt formed is insoluble, and another new salt formed is it is a soluble salt. Okay, so if you take examples for chloride salts, so take lead nitrate, which is also soluble. Lead nitrate, when it is made to react with the sodium chloride, what happens? So here exchange of ions takes place. So lead will take chlorine and sodium will take nitrate. So lead chloride it forms. Lead chloride is insoluble. It is insoluble. Remember that lead chloride is insoluble under normal conditions, but it is soluble in hot water. Okay. So under normal conditions it is insoluble. Hence it forms a precipitate. Okay, and what is left over? So NaNO3 is formed. So it is a aqueous solution. So it is a soluble salt. Another example, if you take silver nitrate, it is a soluble salt. Soluble salt 1. Take sodium chloride. So what happens? So again exchange of ions or exchange of radicals takes place. Silver take chlorine and sodium will take nitrate. So it forms a silver chloride. It's a white precipitate. It's a milky curdy precipitate. We generally call it as silver chloride, white precipitate of silver chloride, and sodium nitrate, which is a soluble salt. Okay, which is a soluble salt is formed. So in this way, so we can prepare chloride salts, insoluble chloride salts. So by the method of preparation, by the method of precipitation. So this is in general we will write one soluble salt when combined with another soluble salt, and if it and when these two combine to form an insoluble salt and one more soluble salt, then this type of reaction is said to be precipitation reaction. Okay, precipitation reaction is an example for double displacement reactions. Okay, now let us learn. Let us see two examples of sulfide. How insoluble sulfide salts are prepared. Okay, insoluble sulfide salts. Example: zinc nitrate. Zinc nitrate. It is a soluble salt, aqueous. Another soluble salt. Take sodium sulfide. It is also another soluble salt. Now if you mix these two soluble salt solutions, you will get what? Zinc sulfide, insoluble salt, and sodium nitrate. which is a soluble salt. As it is a soluble salt, I wrote AQ. As it is insoluble salt, downward arrow indicates the precipitate, insoluble salt. So like this. So this is an example. Another example for sulfide salts, for the preparation of sulfide salts. Okay, let us take another example. So aqueous solution of lead nitrate and aqueous solution of sodium sulfate, when these two solutions are mixed, they react with each other by exchanging their radicals or else by exchanging their ions. Radicals or ions we generally call. Okay, so what happens? Lead will take sulfur and sulfide. Lead will take sulfide, sodium will take nitrate and forms lead sulfide, which is insoluble salt, and sodium nitrate, it forms, it's a soluble salt. So like this, some of the examples of sulfide salts. So these are examples of sulfide salts. So preparation of sulfide salts. Now take examples of preparation of sulfate salts. Preparation of sulfate salts. Example, take a calcium chloride. Actually, a calcium chloride solution, it's an aqueous solution of calcium chloride, is soluble. It is a soluble salt. Okay. Take sodium sulfate. It is also soluble salt. Okay. Aqueous solution. When these two solutions are prepared, mixed. Okay. Now, when these two solutions are mixed, what happens? They react with each other by exchanging their radicals, undergoing a double displacement reactions, okay, to form calcium sulfate, which is insoluble salt, and sodium chloride, it is a soluble salt. It is a soluble salt. Okay, right. So in this way, so insoluble salt is prepared. And another example, take lead nitrate. Lead nitrate, okay. When it is mixed with another, so this is soluble salt, AQ. Mix with Na2SO4, aqueous solution of this one, it is because this is soluble salt. So double displacement reaction takes place. What type of double displacement reaction? So it does not take neutralization. Neutralization reaction takes place between acid and base. These two are salts. So these two are normal salts. Hence here what happens? Precipitation reaction takes place to form lead sulfate, which is insoluble. Lead sulfate insoluble, downward arrow. Okay, and sodium nitrate, it is a soluble sodium nitrate aqueous solution. So in this way, so some of the sulfate salts are can be prepared by insoluble sulfate salts. These are insoluble sulfate salts. They can be prepared by the method of double displacement reaction. So actually double displacement reactions, in particularly precipitation reaction method. So like this, some of the salts are prepared. Okay. So let us learn preparation method of one salt. One method will learn how the actual method will go by step by this method. So that means preparation of insoluble salt. So take any salt, take any one of specific salt, okay, and prepare. So let us take lead carbonate. Let us take lead carbonate. Let us take preparation of lead carbonate. So how lead carbonate is prepared? Specifically, how lead carbonate is prepared. So we may take anything. So carbonate salt we will take lead carbonate. How lead carbonate is prepared? Let us see. lead carbonate preparation. Lead carbonate is an insoluble salt. Hence, we will learn about lead carbonate preparation. How this is prepared by double displacement method or else by precipitation method. How lead carbonate is prepared. For the preparation of lead carbonate, so we require two solutions, two salt solutions. So which salt solution we may take? Any soluble salt of lead. Okay, any soluble salt of lead. Let us take lead nitrate. So prepare a solution of lead nitrate. What is this one? Lead nitrate solution. Okay, so this is what? Lead nitrate aqueous, Pb, NO3, PbNO3 taken twice, lead nitrate aqueous. I am writing AQ. AQ indicates what? So soluble salt. This is, it's a solution. So aqueous solution of lead nitrate. So now this is aqueous solution of lead nitrate. Prepare another soluble salt like sodium carbonate. Okay, any soluble salt we may prepare. Okay, I am taking sodium carbonate. So it should contain carbonate. So it should contain what? This should contain lead and this should contain carbonate. So and this salt should be soluble salt. For example, if I take sodium carbonate is a soluble salt. Okay. So now, and it is having carbonate and this solution is having lead. See what happens if you mix these two, both of them will exchange their radicals or else both of them will exchange their ions. See what does this solution contains? This solution contains lead ions and nitrate ions. What does this solution contains? This solution contains sodium ions and carbonate ions. Sodium ions and carbonate ions. See, first to prepare the solution of lead nitrate by taking some amount of lead nitrate in the test tube. Okay, and prepare this solution also. Aqueous solution of sodium carbonate also. Separately these two are prepared. Now take a beaker. Okay, and pour these two. So pour this one into this beaker, and even this also pour, but take some excess amount of sodium carbonate. Take some excess. So this solution is taken somewhat in excess. So what happened? Now these two are mixed. Okay, so when they are mixed, simply just after mixing these two, so for the reaction to take place between these two, so it is better to stir with the help of a glass rod. Take a glass rod and stir this mixture. What happens? So no need of stirring also, but for better result, so just stir it. So what happens? Reaction takes place between these two. See, these lead ions will take a carbonate ion. Okay, so and forms a precipitate of lead carbonate is formed. Insoluble salt is formed. See, actually we have added two soluble salt solutions, but due to the reaction between these two, say insoluble salt is formed. Okay, white colored insoluble salt is formed, and this is called as lead carbonate. Lead carbonate is insoluble salt. And what is left over in this solution? Now in this solution already we have taken excess amount of sodium carbonate. That means some amount of sodium carbonate is left over in the solution. And what happens due to the reaction between these two? So it forms lead carbonate and sodium nitrate. It forms lead carbonate, it's a precipitate, and sodium nitrate. NaNO3, new salt. It is a soluble salt. Okay, so that means, so this particular beaker contains insoluble salt, lead carbonate, which is formed newly, and already some excess amount of sodium carbonate is present, and this is also a newly formed salt. So it is also soluble salt, NaNO3, NaNO3. So that means this particular solution is having these two salts as soluble salts, and this is insoluble salt. So now what happens? So now just you filter this solution. Take a funnel, put a filter paper on it. So put a filter paper on it. Now transfer this one here. So what happened? The insoluble salt, it remains as residue on the filter paper, and this filtrate. Now this is called as filtrate. The substance which has passed, the solution which is passed through the filter paper and through funnel, finally it is collected into another beaker. Now this solution, this particular solution, it contains both substances. What are those substances? Sodium carbonate plus NaNO3. Okay, these two are soluble salts. They are soluble. Okay, now as they are soluble in salts, they are present in the solution in dissolved form. As this is insoluble salt, hence it is settled at the bottom. Okay, precipitate, it is called as precipitate. So now this precipitate, what is this? This precipitate is collected, it is separated. During the filtration, the precipitate, it remains as a residue on the filter paper. So what is this one? This is lead carbonate. Right. Now we got lead carbonate. So in this way, we prepared insoluble salt. So this is general method of preparation of insoluble salt. So particularly we have learnt the precipitation method, how precipitation method will help us to prepare insoluble salt. Okay, now after this one, take out this take out the insoluble lead carbonate. So wash it. So wash these crystals. Okay, the insoluble salt crystals. Wash the insoluble salt crystals with distilled water. Why should we wash? Because these crystals, it is removed from the solution. Because some of these salts, this salt or else even lead nitrate salt, if there is any lead nitrate salt, so even these salts, they may stick to this precipitate. Okay, these salts may stick, just little amount of these salts may stick to the lead carbonate. So we want this insoluble salt, the prepared insoluble salt in pure form. Hence, in order to remove the sticked impurities which are stick to this lead carbonate, so in order to remove these impurities, just wash this lead carbonate with distilled water. Wash this lead carbonate with distilled water. So after washing, so finally you will get what? You will get all the stick, anything, if they are stick to lead carbonate, they are removed, they are washed away, and finally you will get pure lead carbonate. So now this this is in it is having moisture. So to remove the moisture, just dry this lead carbonate, dry this wet lead carbonate so that it become a dry lead carbonate. And now that dry lead carbonate, it is stored. It is stored. Okay, right. So in this method we have prepared what? We have prepared lead carbonate, which is insoluble salt. So this is what method? And this is called as, so it is called as a precipitation method. So lead carbonate preparation by precipitation method. So it is an insoluble salt. So precipitation of insoluble salt. So like this, we can prepare insoluble salts. So by using precipitation methods, right? So we can prepare many salts. Suppose sometimes if lead nitrate is not available, suppose if lead nitrate is not available, so what to do? We are having only, instead of lead nitrate, If we have, so I am removing this one. So in this method, what did we do? One soluble salt is mixed with another soluble salt. So let us consider this one salt 1 as this one as salt 2, and you will get an insoluble salt, and another soluble salt. Okay. So another soluble salt, this is a new type, a new salt. Okay, for example, so here if two soluble salts are available, then only we can prepare this insoluble salt and one more soluble salt by the method of by the precipitation method. But suppose if I don't have one soluble salt, so there is only one soluble salt, another is insoluble salt. For example, I have insoluble salt, lead oxide, and soluble salt, sodium carbonate, let us assume. Then how to prepare this insoluble salt? Actually, so this is what insoluble salt. As it is insoluble salt, I cannot prepare the solution of this salt. But this is soluble salt. I can prepare the solution of this salt. Okay, I can prepare the solution of this salt. So as it is insoluble salt, it cannot form into ions, and exchange of ions does not take place. Then what is the solution? Then how to prepare this sodium lead carbonate? How to prepare lead carbonate? We cannot prepare lead carbonate by this method. Okay, then what we have to do? Simply this insoluble salt should be converted into soluble salt. It is converted to soluble salt. So let us take soluble salt. Generally lead nitrate, all nitrate salts are soluble. So simply convert the lead monoxide into lead nitrate. So after conversion of lead monoxide into lead nitrate, so lead nitrate is a soluble salt. Okay, soluble salt. Now mix this one with this. So now these two are mixed. Okay, now reaction takes place, and due to this, what happens? Lead carbonate is formed. Got it? So now let us see how to prepare this salt from this salt. How to prepare soluble salt from insoluble salt? See, generally insoluble salt should be converted into soluble salt before making to react this one with this one. Okay, so this should be converted into this one, and the newly formed soluble salt is made to react with another soluble salt for the reaction to undergo. So how should we convert? I mean, what is the method of conversion of insoluble salt to soluble salt? Simply take the insoluble salt and react this one with nitric acid. Okay, so if it made to react with nitric acid, what happens? So now here double displacement reaction takes place. So what happens? So here water will form. Okay, see, actually it is neutralization reaction, not double displacement, neutralization reaction, because this is basic in nature and this is acid. Okay, so what happens? So lead nitrate it forms lead nitrate, it is a soluble salt. Now take this lead nitrate. So this is insoluble salt. It is insoluble salt. This insoluble salt is converted into soluble salt, and now this soluble salt is used for the preparation of sodium carbonate. Now what we have taken? Now we have taken this salt, lead nitrate. Okay. So actually we have taken which salt? Insoluble salt. So from insoluble salt, this insoluble salt can be prepared. So but what method? So this insoluble salt is made into soluble salt, and now this soluble salt is used for the precipitation reaction. So now the reaction will go like this and forms sodium nitrate solution and lead carbonate like this. So that means, so if you take two salts, one is insoluble and another one is soluble. So before making the reaction between these two, so first to convert the insoluble salt into soluble salt. Now use this soluble salt which is formed in this reaction for the preparation for this reaction to occur. That means precipitation reaction. So like this. So in this way, even from insoluble salt also we can prepare another insoluble salt by using soluble salt. So for this purpose we have to convert the insoluble salt. Already if it is insoluble, convert this insoluble salt into soluble salt, and then only it should be made to react with this one, and finally you will get a new insoluble salt. So like this. So this is the method how this is the precipitation method for the preparation of insoluble salt. Now we will learn the synthesis method. The second method of preparation of insoluble salt. So what is that one? Synthesis method we will learn now. So first method is precipitation. So we learnt about the precipitation reaction, how it is used for the preparation of insoluble salt. Now we will learn about the second method for the preparation of insoluble salt. What is synthesis reaction? What is synthesis actually? Synthesis, it is a special type of combination reaction where two elements, element 1 and element 2. See, two elements are made to react. They are heated, okay, so that both of them will react with each other to form a new compound. So when elements combine to form a compound, then such reactions are said to be combination synthesis reaction, or else simply we can call it as synthesis reaction. So synthesis reaction is a special type of combination reactions where different elements will combine to form a compound. Okay, for example, in this method, what do? So we will take two elements and heat them. Okay. See, particularly, so for the preparation of insoluble salt, so one of the element should be what? Metal. It should be metal. So generally we will take the metal in the powder form. See, generally metals are solids. So for solids, if you take in powder form, then they will undergo reaction faster. So that is why we will take metal, one of the element as metal in powder form. Another element, let us take sulfur. So what forms? It forms metal sulfide. Metal sulfides. All sulfides are insoluble. All metal sulfides, PHIDE, All metal sulfides are insoluble. So except sulfide of sodium, sulfide of potassium, and sulfide of ammonium, all other sulfide salts are insoluble salts. So like this. So in this way we prepare metal sulfides. Okay. So this is an example where metal, any metal, you may take this metal, may be zinc or iron or copper or mercury, okay, or lead, anything. Okay. So what do we do? How do we prepare this month? I mean, what is the method of preparation? So now we learn the method. See, first take known amount of certain amount of zinc, or else anything. Let us take iron. So just so actually this is called as mortar. And this is called as piston. This is called as piston. See, generally what this mortar and piston are used to grind. So these two are used to grind any substance. So now we will learn how to prepare metal sulfide. Example, iron sulfide by this method. So any sulfides, or else generally sulfides will prepare by the synthesis method, because sulfides are insoluble salts. Sulfides are insoluble salts. So for the preparation of iron sulfide, so we learn the method of preparation of iron sulfide. So first take iron, certain amount of iron, into this mortar, and add sulfur to this one. Add iron and sulfur. Okay. Iron filings. Iron means iron filings we will take. Iron filings. Because don't take iron, solid iron. So iron filings are, they are powdered form of iron. So take iron filings. Okay. And add rolled sulfur. Sulfur should be rolled sulfur. Okay. So that rolled sulfur, it is it shows, it will react fastly. So take iron filings and rolled sulfur. So into this one, into mortar and piston, and start grinding. So now these two are mixed by grinding. So with the help of piston and mortar, so simply grind it. Okay, grind it properly, so that finally you will get a homogeneous mixture. Until homogeneous mixture is formed, just grind up both these two. What are these two substances? One is iron filings. Iron filings are taken, and another one is rolled sulfur. Rolled sulfur we have taken. Okay, now these two are grinded. So what is this process? The process is said to be grinding process. So grinding of chemicals. So for the for the grinding of chemicals, generally we use the apparatus or else instruments known as a mortar and piston. Generally they are made up of china clay. They are made up of this one. Porcelain materials. They are made up of porcelain materials. Now after the preparation of homogeneous mixture, so take a hard glass test tube. Hard glass test tube. Hard glass test tube. A hard glass test tube is taken. Not a test, test. Hard glass test tube. because we are testing. So now this mixture, so homogeneous mixture is kept into this one. Okay, the grinded material, it is kept into this one. It's a mixture, homogeneous mixture. Now start heating this one. Start heating. Okay, so heat this mixture until it get a red glow, until heat this mixture until it glows red. So when this mixture is glowing red, stop heating. So until this mixture glows red, we have to heat it, and after the mixture glows red, so when red glow is appearing in this test tube, now stop heating. What happens? See, actually in the mixture, this iron filings and sulfur, they combine with each other, they react with each other to form iron sulfide, and heat is liberated. Okay, and heat is liberated. Generally we will represent it delta T. Heat is liberated. As in this reaction heat is liberated, so this reaction is said to be exothermic reaction. So see what up to red glow, or else red hot, we have to heat it. After getting red glow, just leave it, don't heat, stop heating. Now what happens during this process? So iron will react with sulfur, some of the iron in this one will react with some of the sulfur to form iron sulfide, and heat is liberated. And with this liberated heat, some more leftover iron and some more leftover sulfur will combine, will react with each other. Okay, that means this heat, the liberated heat is enough for the further reaction to take place. So the leftover iron and leftover sulfur will react with each other with the help of heat which is liberated during this reaction. Okay, so that means the reaction will continue. Okay, for some time, actually the reddish glow, see this reddish glow will continue for some time. As the reaction between iron and sulfur, it is exothermic. As the reaction between iron and sulfur it is exothermic. So what happens? So this heat will help for the other amount leftover iron and the leftover sulfur to react with each other. So finally what happens? This entire material, this entire mixture or a homogeneous mixture, finally it will convert into iron sulfide. So it is an insoluble salt. Now after the formation of iron sulfide completely, so these two are reacted completely to form iron sulfide. See, actually we have to take certain amount of iron and certain amount of sulfur only. So fixed amounts of iron and sulfur, so they are taken in a definite amounts. For example, if you take iron filings 5.6 grams, if you take 5.6 grams of iron filing, then we have to take 3.2 grams of sulfur only. We have to take 3.2 grams of sulfur only, because here one atom of sulfur will react with one atom of iron will react with one atom of sulfur to form iron sulfide. So one atom of, what is the atomic mass of iron? It is 56. Atomic mass of iron, it is 56. Atomic mass of sulfur is 32. If you take 56 grams of iron and 32 grams of sulfur, it will become very large quantity. Hence, don't take 56 and 32. Simply take 5.6 and take 3.2 grams of these two. So we have to take these two substances in very less amounts. Don't take in large amounts. So how much amount of iron filings? 5.6 grams of iron filings and 3.2 grams of sulfur is taken in this mortar and piston for grinding, and finally you will get a homogeneous mixture, and that mixture, it is heated until it glows red. So after that one it stop heating. So now what happens? The reddish glow will continue even after stopping heating also. The reddish glow will continue for some time. As a reaction between the iron and sulfur, it is exothermic. So what happens? The reaction, this reddish glow will continue to glow for some time because heat is liberated now, and heat will be helped for the remaining amount of iron and sulfur present in this mixture to undergo reaction, and finally all the iron and sulfur will finally converted into iron sulfide. Okay, right. So in this way iron sulfide is prepared in this. Now what we have to do? So after preparation of this iron sulfide, so now what we got it? So now in this test tube, what do you find? In the test tube you will find iron sulfide, FeS. Okay, in this test tube you will find finally iron sulfide is prepared. So now cool this one. Now cool this one. That means allow the test tube to cool. So after cooling it, simply break this one, break it. So break this one. So why should we break? So in order to, because this will stick to this one, we cannot take out this iron sulfide. Simply by inverting we cannot take it out. So how to obtain this iron sulfide? So it remains in the test tube only. It will stick to the test tube and we cannot take out this iron sulfide. So in order to take out this iron sulfide, simply we have to break this test tube. Unless until we break, we cannot separate this iron sulfide from this test tube. So break this test tube, remove the glass pieces, remove the pieces of glass, and finally what is left over? The leftover one is called as iron sulfide. Now that iron sulfide is recovered. So in this way iron sulfide is prepared. Iron sulfide is an insoluble salt. It is an insoluble salt. It cannot dissolve in water. So like this. So this is another method for the preparation of insoluble salt. So synthesis method. So in synthesis method we will take elements. Okay, elements are made to react with each other. When they are heated, they form a new compound. So new compound is the insoluble salt. Okay, right. We may not only iron sulfide. So we may prepare several salts by this method, several insoluble salts by this method. Let us discuss some examples. Let us discuss some examples for the preparation of insoluble salts by synthesis method. Let us see few examples. When zinc instead of iron, take zinc and heat, mix it with sulfur, and the grinder, the mixer, after grinding, so you get a homogeneous mixture. The homogeneous mixture of zinc and sulfur, when heated,